Jake,
A medical emergency.
got money. You
Had to get rushed off a plane.
You've knocked out folks already.
The Tyson versus Jake fight is really starting to get interesting and more intense than anyone had imagined. Jake Paul seems to be getting more agitated than he has been, and this is bringing out some uncool stuff. There's the big question of whether Jake Paul can really still go through with the anticipated fight with Mike Tyson, or he should just call it quits while there's still time. Do y'all want to know the answer to that? Oh well, Jake would rather chew stone than say he's not fighting Tyson anymore. Jake Paul is ready to prove to the world that he can beat Iron Mike. Okay, Jake, let's see.
And wouldn't that be something? If a 58-year-old man defeats the future of boxing.
Several theories started flying around after Jake shoved Tyson during the latest conference to promote the fight. Before anyone gets worked up about it, it wasn't an anger-based type of push. Yeah, seeing only this clip definitely sends a different message of Jake getting enraged and pushing Tyson on stage. But here's what happened. Tyson was the first person to push Jake in a joking manner, like fighters do when facing each other at the end of press conferences for photos. However, Jake wasn't going to allow Tyson to take the entire shine for the push, so he imitated Tyson's push, and the media sure did its thing on that aspect. Many boxing professionals weren't cool with Jake's actions, as they thought he was trying to get into it with the legendary former heavyweight champion. Anyway, the back and forth pushing wasn't all that happened at the press conference, which caused a stir on the internet and even within the boxing community. The press conference was held in Manhattan, New York, and that put Jake Paul in some awkward position. If you don't know, Iron Mike is a native of New York. He was born and raised in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, New York City. The 58-year-old once mentioned how growing up was scary, as he was always scared to be in the house and even to be outside. It was a tough place to live back then, but guess what? Being a native of NY City paid off for Mike Tyson during this recent press conference. While Tyson was getting praised and hailed by the audience at the Manhattan press conference, Jake got booed. Yeah, it wasn't very pleasant, but y'all know Jake Paul wouldn't succumb to being ridiculed like that. Jake Paul told the Manhattan audience that they could enjoy their time hailing Tyson, but we will see who is dead, Mike. Oops, Jake issued death threats to Tyson in that sentence. Jake even claimed he's an anti-hero as he compared himself to Muhammad Ali. Jake said he would be the one to remind Tyson and everyone that Tyson's time has passed, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Making history, this is what it's all about for me, man. I'm a kid from Ohio. Hey, New York, shut the fuck up.
Jake's anger can be understood as he got booed at the event, but comparing himself to Muhammad Ali? That's a far stretch. Folks reminded Jake that he hasn't even done anything in boxing that can be considered brilliant enough to compare himself to the greatest boxer of all time. It's like an upcoming fighter comparing himself to the greatest fighter in history. That's just laughable. However, Jake doesn't care about that. He's fixated on the part where he's going to beat Tyson and prove to the world that he's the next big thing in boxing.
I'm just ready. I'm just ready. You know, I'm going to do my talk and I'm going to talk my shit, but I'm ready to fight.
People think I'm going to get knocked out by this strong, powerful guy. All the people in my comments saying, look at his power, he's going to get KO.
Jake mocked Tyson, saying he would put him to sleep in a short time. But really, Jake? Can it be that easy to put Iron Mike to sleep? Let's be for real. Mike Tyson didn't achieve his mind-blowing records and was named the heavyweight champion multiple times for nothing. Tyson really outdid everyone in his generation. So why does Jake think it will be so easy for him to put Tyson to sleep? Here's the supposed answer to that question. There are no two ways that makes Jake think he can get his way in the ring with Tyson. The only thing Jake is banking on is that Tyson is a 58-year-old man while he is just 27 years old. That's about a 31-year difference. Jake is counting on the fact that his younger body and energy will play a better role than Tyson's older body. Aside from the age factor, there's also the aspect of Jake still actively being in the game, while Tyson retired about 19 years ago. That was before Jake Paul ever dreamed of becoming a boxer. Tyson's last professional fight was in 2005, when he went up against Kevin McBride. Kevin McBride won the match, but Tyson didn't forget to remind the world that his health was not at its best status at that time, and that may have had a huge impact on him losing the fight. So will Tyson's health also be coming into play in his anticipated fight with Jake? Well, it almost got in the way, but it was handled in the nick of time. Remember, the fight was originally planned to happen on the 20th of July? Oh yeah, that date fell through after Tyson had an ulcer flare-up in May on a flight from Miami to Los Angeles.
A small adversity. I got sick, but I'm better. I feel good.
Jake,
A medical emergency.
you got money. You
Had
have.
to get rushed off a plane.
You've knocked out folks already.
Tyson's medical situation led to the fight being postponed to November 15th so he would get enough time to recover and get ready for the upcoming fight against Jake. And while Tyson was recovering, Jake wasn't prepared to allow the built-up hype about that date to go to waste. So he opted for another fight, which was against Mike Perry. Interestingly, Jake wins the fight against Perry, and that puts him in good spirits as he believes he is more than ready to fight Tyson. So who's going to tell Jake that Tyson is steps ahead of Perry in boxing? Well, boxing professionals will do that job. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping has been one of the people who aren't feeling the Jake versus Tyson fight from the start. Bisping has yet to connect the dots as to why Jake would want to fight a legend like Tyson. Bisping believes Jake is just being lazy as he isn't ready to go head-to-head with his peers. Bisping isn't the only fighter who believes Jake is intentionally taking up fights against fighters who are either not in the same weight class as him, or fighters who have retired or are about to retire.
Mike Perry having only one professional boxing fight, and Jake Paul being about 30 to 40 pounds bigger, heavier, about a good 3 or 4 inches taller, 2 weight classes above.
Bisping even called Jake's intentional act of fighting boxers older or retired elderly abuse. Bisping thinks Jake is trying to build his career on fights he's certain of winning, so he would create a clean record for himself and be one of the fighters that has a good record in boxing. But hey, Jake can no longer be in the undefeated category because Tommy Fury ended that particular dream back in 2023. Tommy Fury is the fighter who ruined Jake's clean sheet, and Jake is still trying to recover from that. Judging by public opinion, it seems Tyson will be the next person to remind Jake Paul that he isn't the fighter he thinks he is just yet. Timothy Bradley Jr. also weighed in during his conversation with ProBox TV. Timothy also believes Jake is just trying his luck by fighting Tyson. Timothy thinks Tyson wouldn't even waste time when they enter the ring because Jake isn't the type of fighter that would stress Tyson out. In Timothy's words, Mike Tyson needs just 2 minutes to knock Disney Boo the He *L out. However, Timothy also has doubts that the fight may turn out differently. Jake may be lucky enough to use the age difference to get his way, but it's a really slim chance. Another UFC star, Michael Chandler, dropped his 2 cents on the upcoming fight. Michael said Tyson would knock Jake out faster than a lightning bolt, and there were no 2 ways to it. As Michael Bisping is still one of the fighters who hates the idea of Jake versus Tyson so much, he still had more to say on his podcast. Bisping says the whole fight is a sham, and the money can't be worth a YouTuber turned boxer like Jake going against a legend like Tyson. Bisping can't wrap his head around the idea of these two being each other's opponents in the ring. He believes the fight was never meant to come to life.
First of all, trash talk is terrible. All he can do is resort to going, fuck you, New York, fuck you, New York.
Well, Jake doesn't care one bit about anything Bisping or anyone has to say. All Jake is aiming for, as he highlighted during the press conference, is to take the $40 million home and knock out a legend.
That you're going up against an old man who is a legend, of course, but he's not that guy anymore.
Dumbass Democratic City.
Mike Tyson, he's not gonna, he's gonna make a shitload of money. He's gonna gain more popularity on Mike Tyson's expense.
Jake is confident he would be able to beat Tyson because he feels he's out of shape. According to Jake, many rules have been changed to make the fight fit his age. The fight is sanctioned as a pro heavyweight bout, but it will take place in 8 2-minute rounds instead of the regular 8 3-minute rounds. Oh, that's not all. Regular fights are fought with the 10-ounce gloves worn normally by heavyweights. But the fight between Jake and Tyson will be fought with a 14-ounce glove. Jane even threatened Tyson that he would be willing to accept the 8 3-minute rounds if he was sure about his chances of winning. Jake claims he knows Tyson is vicious and can be a beast in the ring, but he's ready to prove all the haters wrong.
Oh, he's gonna run like a thief. He's gonna run.
Nah, we can meet in the middle.
Oh, that's what I want.
Let's meet in the middle.
I love you.
I'm bucking out. Let's go. We'll see.
Oh, we will see, buddy.
Jake thinks he's up to the task of winning a fight with Tyson, but many people believe otherwise. The recent press conference that was held to promote the fight made Jake realize that more. Jake was booed till Tyson himself had to tell the audience to tone it down and be respectful. But Jake already felt what he felt, and he acted on it. Jake told the audience that they were Democratic dumbasses, and he would show them he could be the native of their city. Mike Tyson didn't seem to care so much about trash talking. Tyson acted like he wasn't interested in trading words with Jake Paul, even with the way Jake kept hurling insults and saying demeaning words. Mike couldn't even hold a frown on his face for a long time. He ended up smiling and saying Jake was his son, and he loved him. Jake believes he's giving Tyson the opportunity of a lifetime to make money and put himself in the ring again. But that can't be the only reason Jake did it. Jake is also trying to boost his career by being in the ring with a legend like Tyson. So who do you think will be the winner of the most anticipated fight coming up in November? Do you think the winner will be Jake Paul, or Mike Tyson will remind the world of how good of a fighter he is, even though he's been in retirement for about 2 decades? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel or turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on boxing news updates.